We're going to be cutting these pieces, we're going to be cutting in the middle. And if I have a large scale print, you know, you can just think what you want to cut up and what you don't want to cut up. And then here's a stripe up here. Usually I like to cut it that way, so you can plan it. And then I put a light one in the center again. And then here's another color. Now, I want to tell you something about me. I don't know if maybe you already know that. I am the naughty sister. I cannot follow directions. And I think some of you remember I was an art teacher in Florida. And I had a boyfriend from Leesburg. I tell you this every year. That was my first time in Leesburg when he brought me home to meet his mother in Leesburg many years ago. When I was teaching, art teacher. So these are the 9 squares. Now what I wanted to tell you is Eleanor wrote the directions. Even though, you know, it was Orion's idea. Well, Eleanor wrote the directions, and then I was the last person at Quilt In A to make the quilt. I was out traveling around, and everybody else had their sample. The pattern was written, it was in the mail, and then I told Elle, I said, you know, there's an easier way to make this quilt. She said, well, I'm not changing the directions, and it was too late, and I understand. So I'm going to show you how Eleanor does it, and then I'll show you how I do it, and then you can do it however you like. So I do have a little extra bonus. This is in the pattern. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this is Eleanor's instructions in the pattern. And then we just slipped in a little extra sheet, and it shows you how I make the block. But, and you'll use both, you know, you can do it however you like. But this is Eleanor's instructions, where you sew, you know, you just flip these over, sew all your blocks, all your squares together, and then you end up with a great big square. It's like over 30 inches. And then the directions tell you how to press, and then we're going to cut it in half, but you do a little bit of math where you measure the finished width, divide it in half, and then take a long ruler, and I don't have a long ruler, but you can visualize a long ruler, and you kind of have to slide your ruler to cut, and then go the other way. Now, for my personal experience, I prefer not to work with a great big block. You need a big working space. And also, I like to use my scraps. I'm kind of frugal quilter. And some of my scraps are not quite this big. You know, sometimes you do have smaller pieces. If you want to use them, you can use 5 by 10 inch. So what I did was, before I sewed them, I cut this middle row in half. And I just took these 3 squares in the center, and I cut them so they measure 5 by 10. Yeah, we'll just stack them in order and cut them down the middle. So the good news is you can use smaller pieces, and also you can use 2 different fabrics. If you want to coordinate it with the adjacent square, then you can use 2 different fabrics, and then we'll just assembly line sew. Just flip this over and sew continuously. They just don't want to stay up here today. This is continuous sewing And what I like to do, stack them in the sewing order and take them to the sewing machine. And then you do 3 at a time. We'll do this set of 3, and then we'll do another set. Just bring it all the way over to the right edge. And then once they're sewn together, they're going to be connected by a little thread. Do not clip the thread. You know why? Because they're in order. And once they're clipped, let's see, here we go. Now this is what it looks like. Once these are stitched, then we'll just cut this one in half. Just go in 5 inches and cut it. So that gives me 2 blocks. Here's one block, this is the other block. Here, I'll show it to you. And then we're almost done with the block. Here, we've got this block. All we do is stitch. And that's the block. So it's you know, it goes really fast. It takes a couple hours to make. And this quilt is, it was just 3 9 patches. And then I ended up with 12 blocks. And it's called a youth size. Y-O-U-T-H is bigger than a baby quilt. Smaller than a regular mat. And then you can see they're separated by lattice. And also we have, the directions show how to arrange your little squares. So it looks, it forms a pattern. And I guess that's all. Do you have any questions?